Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another very important video on the visa-free transit countries for Indians. When I made my previous video on the top visa-free countries for Indians, a lot of you guys posted in the comment section asking for visa-free transit countries for Indians. Now, first of all, what is transit? Transit means like you are going, for example, if you're going from India to US and you have a transit in the middle on a different country. Like for example, you have a flight from Bangalore to California and you're transiting through Dubai. Now, if you want to transit through Dubai on the same PNR, there is not a problem. But if you want to transit via Dubai through a different airline or a different PNR, then you would definitely need a transit visa because you have to remove your luggage or come out of the airport and recheck in, or even if you go to the transfers, they will ask you for a new ticket, which you may definitely need a transit visa. So I'm going to talk about a few countries where conditions applied where Indians passport holders can avail free transit visa. So before we get started, as you can see on my screen guys, 98% of you who are regularly watching my channel are non-subscribers. So kindly hit the subscribe button and support my channel. So number one country which is making a lot of noise recently guys is China. Now China announced a visa-free transit facility for many countries, and India was part of that list, and this was announced late November or early December in 2024. So if you are going to a third country, for example, if you're going to Russia or if you're going to Japan, if you're going to South Korea, and if you have a layover in China, it is completely free for 24 hours and you have to stay in the departure or the arrival hall depending upon from where you're transiting. For example, my friend recently he is an Indian passport holder, he stays in Tokyo, and he went from Tokyo to France via China, and in China he got a 24-hour free transit facility. So when we talk about China transit, we only assume it from India, right? But Indian passport holders are working in many countries, like they're working in South Korea, they're working in Japan, they're working even in Hong Kong, they're working in Macau. So you have to consider all type of transit facility guys. So that's why China, being one of the major transit hubs in Southeast Asia or South Asia, they have provided visa-free transit facility for Indian passport holders for 24 hours only. But if you want to stay beyond 24 hours, if you want to stay beyond 24 hours, go out of the airport, visit a few places within the city and come back, you have to apply for something called as G visa, as you can see on my screen. So the country number 2 and 3 which I'll talk about are very famous for Indians is Thailand and Malaysia. Now I get hundreds of comments every single day asking, now I am going to Indonesia, I am going to Philippines, I am going to Japan, can I go to Thailand, switch the airport, can I go to Thailand, exchange the flight, and then can I go to my destination country? This is the most frequently asked question. I wanted to put this number 1 because China transit has made so much of noise that I wanted to give it the first place guys. So Thailand, now for better understanding, I had emailed the consulate of Thailand and in Mumbai, and I got an email confirmation saying that you can do transit from Thailand. All you have to do is let's take this as an example guys, so it's easy for you guys to understand. So I am going from Bangalore to Japan, I am going from Bangalore to Tokyo, and I feel when booking that flight from Bangkok to Tokyo is a bit cheaper. Now Bangalore to Tokyo flights are also available, but it's expensive. So I find out that Bangalore to Bangkok is 10,000 rupees or let's take 7,000 rupees, and Bangkok to Tokyo is about 15,000 rupees. So it comes up to 21,000 rupees. But the direct flight would somewhere cost minimum, I think 30 to 35,000 rupees. So I get this idea and I want to now travel to Bangkok. I also want to stay one night. But even if you don't want to stay one night, if you want to go to Bangkok airport and immediately you want to go to Tokyo. So I emailed the same thing to the consulate of Thailand in Mumbai, and you can check this video guys. I've clearly mentioned in this video, I've asked the question on behalf of you guys and I've got the response from them saying that yes, it is possible, but if you're exiting and entering Thailand multiple times in a short duration of time, then they will ask you questions why you're doing that, and you can certainly answer them like this is the plan and this is the itinerary and this is the flight ticket, this is where I'm going. Prepare a rough itinerary for them, take a printout, and they will not say no or they will not question you. They will allow you because Thailand and Malaysia both are visa free for Indians. There is no problem at all. You can enter, exit whenever you want, how many times ever you want, within the period of time. Only when you want to exceed beyond 60 days stay in Thailand, then you will need a long-term visa, which I've also made a dedicated video on, guys. So country number 2 and 3, very famous for Indians, and I would really suggest to make use of this, guys, because if you're going to Philippines, Korea, Japan, it is always better to go to Thailand first, stay for one day, even if you don't want to stay for one day, but that's just my suggestion. Go to Bangkok, stay for one night, or even if you want to stay in the airport, from there you book flights to South Korea or Japan, because you already have a valid visa. There is no problem for you, and they won't really care from where you're entering, South Korea or Japan. It really doesn't matter for them, because on an Indian passport you have already got the visa. So it'll be very, very easy for you to go to a third country like Thailand or Malaysia, and then book a flight separately from these countries, which will help you save a lot of money. See, I know time will be wasted, but if you have time, if you're ready to spend time, if you're ready to save money, then you can take this option, because saving money and saving time both can only lead to direct flight, which will be expensive. And country number 4, I want to specifically talk about this very importantly, guys, is Kazakhstan. Now, Kazakhstan is visa free for Indians. You can go to Kazakhstan, and there are many cheap flights available from Almaty to Europe. So if you see the flight cost from India to Kazakhstan, one way is about, if you see from Delhi, because the direct flights are from Delhi and Mumbai, and if you book one-way flight tickets, it is going to be roughly around 10,000 rupees. If you book two-way flight ticket from Delhi to Almaty, Almaty to Delhi, it will cost you somewhere around 12 to 13,000 rupees. I have been recently to Kazakhstan. I'll post all my updates on Instagram, so please stay tuned. So it will roughly cost you 13 to 14,000 rupees, guys. That's all. And that too is not Indigo I'm talking about. Indigo is also very affordable, but Air Astana is giving you for a very, very affordable rate within 15,000 rupees if you are booking to and fro flights from New Delhi. Now, let's say you went to Almaty. You can stay in Almaty for up to 14-15 days. There is no problem. No questions will be asked. That's completely visa free. And from Almaty, you can book a flight to any of the Schengen country, 29 countries. The flights are a bit cheaper. I have already checked it. If you're looking from India to Europe, rather if you go from Almaty to Europe, the flights will cost you much cheaper. And on the way, if you take a transit, from Almaty to maybe Azerbaijan, Baku, or from there to France, it will cost you even cheaper, guys. So explore this option. Always keep in mind that when the country is giving visa free, you can also go there, stay for 1 or 2 days, show the itinerary, or stay in the airport, show the itinerary, and go to a third country. They can't deny you, because it's visa free for Indians. At the end of the day, you have to assume, you have to think that it's visa free. So country number 5, I want to specifically mention this a bit more, and that is Hong Kong. Now, the visa for Hong Kong is 0 rupees, 0 INR. And you have to just apply Hong Kong PAR, which I've made a dedicated video on. If you apply Hong Kong PAR, you will immediately get the results, whether it's approved or rejected. So let's take a positive scenario of your Hong Kong PAR is approved. And usually it is approved for 6 months multiple entry. I got my Hong Kong PAR for 6 months multiple entry. Now I can exit and enter Hong Kong any number of time within this 6 months. I've already been to Hong Kong. I've already made some dedicated videos, guys, so you can check that out. So let's say you went to Hong Kong, you stayed for one day, or you don't want to stay for one day. In my examples, let's say you went to Hong Kong. From Hong Kong, the flights to Korea and Japan are very cheap, guys. Very, very cheap. If you look from India or even Thailand, the flights from Hong Kong to these countries are extremely cheap. And even to Hong Kong, you have direct flights from India. If you don't want direct flights from India, you can might as well as transit via Bangkok, or you can might as well as transit via Taiwan. So there is a lot of options for you. There's a lot of support when it comes to Hong Kong, because you're not paying anything for the visa, and you don't have to worry about transit and stuff, because once you have the PAR multiple entry, you can exit and enter many number of times. So what I did was, I went from Bangalore to Hong Kong, then from Hong Kong I went to Macau, then from Macau I again came back to Hong Kong, then I again came back to India. So I entered and exited Hong Kong. I did a multiple entry, once from India, once from Macau. I was completely allowed, because it mentions in the pre-arrival registration that Hong Kong PAR is given for 6 months multiple entry. So explore this option as well. If you have Hong Kong PAR which are not spending even 1 rupee, then you can think of exiting and entering to different countries via Hong Kong. So the next country also I want to mention, like a special mention in this video, is Singapore, guys. Singapore has visa free transit facility. facility. I know there is a lot of comments I have not even answered in that video. You can check this video out. So Singapore offers 96-hour free visa-free transit facility, but you must have a certain number of visas of all those countries. I've made a dedicated video, guys, so you can check that out. I don't want to make this video too lengthy, so you can check this out. I've given all the information and it's one of my going videos as well. It has been going good from since I uploaded. I've provided all the information, so you can check this Singapore's VFTF, which is 96-hour free transit, visa free transit facility, which is called as VFTF. The next highly mentioned I want to talk about is Taiwan. Because if you have a Japan visa, if you have a US visa, again guys, for all the countries, the US visa which I'm talking about is B2 US visa. It's not H1B, H2B, L1, F1. It is not those visas. It is specifically B2 US visa, which is valid for 10 years and multiple entry. Only that visa is allowed for all the countries that I'm talking about where you need a US visa. Please remember that. And why I mention Taiwan is, now Taiwan is kind of also considered as one of the big transit hubs when it comes to visiting Japan or South Korea. Now why I'm again and again I'm mentioning about Japan and South Korea is, the tourism to Japan and South Korea recently, guys, has increased immensely. And now if I want to book a visa appointment in VFS for Japan, I have to wait for at least 1 month from Bangalore. So the tourism sector for Japan and South Korea have boosted like anything. And if you have a valid Japan visa or a valid B2 US visa, you are eligible for visa on arrival in Taiwan. You just have to fill up a form, and you can use Taiwan as well in terms of transit. Like for best example is, if you want to go to Japan, you can go to Taiwan first, stay there for a couple of days, look at Taipei, then go to Japan. While coming back, you can use the same Japan visa, come to Singapore, and from Singapore you can stay for 28 or 24 or 48 hours and then come to India or Bangalore in my example. So you can hit 3 countries with 1 visa, and Japan's visa cost is only 500 rupees including VFS charges, which is more than consulate fees, which comes up to 1800 rupees. So for 1800 rupees you can cover 3 countries. Now if you want to apply Taiwan sticker visa separately, it will cost you what 9,000 somewhere around 8 to 9,000 rupees. Or if you want to apply Singapore visa alone including visa agent fees, it will charge you 2,500 or 3,000 rupees. But Japan visa you can apply on your own. My videos will come very shortly, guys, so please stay tuned. So it will only cost you 1800 rupees. For 1800 rupees you can hit 3 countries, guys. So just look at the advantage. And also through Japan visa you can visit UAE as well. So you can hit 4 countries through a normal Japan visa, which would cost you 1800 rupees, and they will give you 3 months validity. You can only stay there for 15 days or 1 month depending upon your itinerary, but they will minimum give a validity of 3 months. So within these 3 months you can cover so many countries. And the last country and the most spoken country in the comment section wise is UAE, that is Dubai. Now Dubai transit visa, I have seen a lot of videos giving misinformation, guys, about Dubai transit facility or UAE transit facility for Indians. Now see, one misconception that everyone has about UAE is, if it is the same PNR, you don't need any kind of transit visa if you're staying for more than 24 hours. If it's the same PNR, you don't even have to worry about it, because when I went to Europe, I went through Dubai, and when I went to Egypt, I went via Dubai. So I've gone to 2 countries, I did not need any kind of transit visa. Now, if your transit is more than 24 hours, or if you need a specific transit where you want to change the airline, for example, the best example is US again, guys. Now I go from Bangalore to Dubai. Now I feel that Dubai to California flight is much cheaper than Bangalore to California. So what I do is, I want to come out of the airport, or I want to go to Abu Dhabi, or I want to go to Sharjah. Sorry, I want to go to US. At that point of time, you have to apply a transit visa, which I've made a dedicated video on. You have to apply via VFS Global. And if you go to VFS Global, you will be able to apply transit visa. You can choose up to 24 hours or 96 hours or 48 or 72 hours. And you have to apply a transit visa compulsorily. There is no exception for this. I've seen a lot of videos. Even before making this video, I've seen one of the YouTubers video where he says that even you can change the airline in Dubai airport, it's completely free. That is misinformation or wrong information, guys. Please do not fall for this trap. I've mentioned in my Dubai videos previously, you have 3 ways to check whether your information is genuine. 1, contact the airlines. 2, contact your local consulate in your city. Or 3, email the embassy and get the confirmation. So when you're traveling to UAE, you have to take very, very high precautions, more than China, because UAE has made its visa rules very, very strict and tight for Indians. They have made it very tight because people are going on a tourist visa, they're working on a tourist visa, and they're breaking the laws. And majority of the people are from India and Pakistan. You already know this information. That's why they made this visa rules kind of very, very strict. And genuine travelers from India and Pakistan are affected by this because of such people. And we know this is happening via donkey route in US or via illegal immigration in Europe. And now they have started for Europe as well. Dubai as well, UAE as well. So please be careful, please be aware, and whatever you do, always do your own research. Why I'm telling this is the news keeps changing, guys. Now the updates keep changing. Now China comes and says Indians can stay in a Chinese airport free transit for 24 hours, and tomorrow they make the rule saying that Indians are not allowed to stay. So you should always be proactive, pragmatic in terms of doing your own research. I've always tried to provide authentic information. If there is any changes to whatever I've mentioned, always look at the comment section. I would have updated the latest information in the comment section. So I hope this video would try to save you a lot of money when traveling. And also you have to be very proactive when it comes to traveling to countries like UAE because the rules are very strict. So I hope this video was very, very informative, guys. Please share it with your friends and family. I'll catch you guys in my next video.